Hello and welcome back to Broadside Gaming with me, Zug, and today we are taking a look at the full patch notes for Darktide, as they finally released the entire version, so we're going to have a quick read through them. So, what have we got? New features and improvements. The talent trees. We have replaced the old trees with the new ones. Hurrah. So how's this going to work? Instead of unlocking a new row of feats every 5 levels, you'll now be granted 1 talent point for each level you reach, to a maximum of 30 points at level 30. Pretty standard. Spending your removing points in the talent trees is free. Good. There was some worry that this is actually going to cost us money or resources. So this is going to give us a lot more room to mess around with them and actually, pick out talents and things. Every class will start with a baseline ability, Blitz and Aura. So these will be basically the same as what we have, what we had already. In the trees, you will find options to upgrade them or replace them completely with new ones. For a few classes, this means that you've also lowered the strength of the baseline ability, and you'll instead be able to regain the lost power further down the tree. So they've nerfed them to start with, but with talent points, you'll be able to buff them again. So yeah, makes sense. Most of the feats that were available to you before can be found scattered throughout the trees, so if you loved the build and playstyle you had before, it should be available to you with these changes. Well, that's good. Again, there was some worry that the old talents and stuff that we were using and gotten used to over the last year would be completely stripped out, but according to this, they're still there, so it's good news. So if you are completely set with how you want to play and don't want to try out the new stuff, that tree is still available to you. So what have we got with the veteran? A volley fire no longer designates elites and special as baseline, but you can spec into this later on down the tree. Good. Scavenger and scrounger auras change to keep track of leftover percentages and apply it later on. Oh, it applies to later on procs instead of rounding up for every proc. For example, you're about to replenish 0.5 ammo earlier, we would round up to 1, but now you instead store it away and replenish it later. Okay, so that's really cool. So instead of it being wasted, it stores up the leftover in the background, so each proc can be bigger if it wasn't used fully. So that's just a nice little ease of life improvement for us there. So look what they've done to the Psykinetics Wrath reduce the quell amount of the baseline ability, but you can increase this further down the tree. Okay, so they've nerfed that slightly, but we can buff it again. Brain Burst lowered the damage of the baseline. Well, that's not great because the damage was shite, but you can increase the damage later on down the tree. Let's hope the damage is actually usable instead of being what it was, but I plan on speccing out of that anyway. But if you like Brain Burst, you can buff it ever so slightly. Kinetic Presence as a baseline, we've replaced this with the Quickening, or the Quackening. Reduces ability cooldowns for you and allies in coherency. You can still find Kinetic Presence further down the tree though. Okay, so they've moved things around. Okay, so what have they done to enemies then? So they've done quite a lot to enemies. Okay, let's have a look. General adjusted most enemy health pools, hit mass values, and stagger thresholds to be a bit higher. So basically, it just matches player output because we've outstripped what they initially thought we'd be able to do. So they just made things a bit harder. Added more ways for the conflict director to spawn hordes. Okay, hordes can now spawn in different ways to respond to players' behavior, including coordinated strikes specialist, mixed in elites with the horde. Push from behind while ranged enemies spawn ahead, bigger ambushes with more spread out, and just more. I mean, that's good. Makes the game more dynamic and a bit scarier, which is going to be, fun instead of just A equals B equals C. Replaced fast transitioning sprint animations for far ranged enemies with a smoother start animation for easier aiming. Okay, so they're not just going to glitch and basically slide like they used to. They fixed it so Dreg Bruisers have right hit sounds based on their blunt weaponry. Okay, not a massive issue. Fixed an issue where monstrosities that were meant to be weakened did not receive the weakened debuff. Okay, fair. Poxhounds. Oh god, let's see what they are to Poxhounds. Made improvements to the Poxhound's leap are calculated for a more consistent and reliable behaviour. Okay, that's good. That's very good. So no more Poxhounds leaping at you. You think you've dodged, and the fucking thing grabs you anyway. Mutant. What have they done to the mutants then? Turned functionality for when players dodge mutants on higher latency. Fixed a case where mutants could bring players into enemy spawn rooms. Yeah, that was really annoying. Okay. I like that. So far, so good. Poxbursters. Increased Poxburster explosion versus infested, so Poxbursters can chain explode. Okay, that's going to be quite funny. Irritating, but funny. So a Poxburster can set off another Poxburster. Fixed a case where Poxbursters could ignore stagger if they walked in fire. Good. Fixed an issue. Well, that'd be great for the new Zealot grenade, because they have an incendiary grenade now. Fixed an issue where using the Surge Force staff secondary on a Poxburster that would make them stagger backwards multiple times during a very short time frame. That's annoying, because that was my go-to for stopping them. You could stagger lock them with the Surge staff. Oh well, we shall figure out another way to do it then. Bombers. Reduced radius of stun when grenades detonate by around 50%. Reduced stun duration. Okay. Beasts of Nurgle. Increased corruption gained when eaten by the beast. Chaos Spawn. Made Chaos Spawn grab a bit easier to dodge. Good. Tweaked Chaos Spawn attack duration to give players a bit of an extra room in melee to hit between attacks. Slightly reduced Chaos Spawn combo damage. Reduced knockback radius for leap and land. Reduced force on players. Ogryns only get pushed. That makes sense. Made improvements to the way Chaos Spawn leaps are calculated for a more consistent and reliable behaviour. Okay, so it seems they've done the same thing with Poxhounds so that the leaping isn't so random. Plague Ogryns. Switched Plague Ogryn broken stomp particles to better match the stomp. Increased the stomp radius. Fixed cases where Plague Ogryn charges push head the wrong direction when hitting players. Okay, so we won't be just yeeted into a different direction. Corruptor. Reduced tentacle growth speed from 2 to 1.5 on Damnation. Fair enough. Just a bit more difficult then. So, balance. Oh, God. Okay, what are they doing with the balances then? Almost all the weapons and blessing changes were made with the help of closed community testing, where we got the opportunity to hang out with members of the community while giving them early builds to try and the feedback on. These tests also gave us a lot of early feedback regarding talents and new abilities, which helped us iron out some of the rough parts. We want to extend a huge thanks to blah, 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 blah. Some balance changes made in these early tests are still being worked on. Of course they are. And will be released in future patches. Weapons. Below you'll find a list of changes, blah, blah, blah. All weapons now have weak spots as sweep hit zone priority. Okay, that's good. The Korok Mark for Cleaver change moveset to include faster stab chains followed by sweeping light switch to blah blah blah, smoother to use. Change stab profile for all cleavers to be better at handling flat charismatic armor types. Good. The Mark 6 cleaver increased the attack speed of the heavy hits, increased the damage of the lights. For the Bull Butcher Mark 3 cleaver, increased damage of heavies. Bully clubs, reduce chain times between slap weapon animations. The Cadia Mark 4 assault chainsword, increased the armor damage modifier on light and heavy, increased cleave on heavy, massively increased damage of heavy light weapon special swing last hit. Well, that's good because it did feel a bit weak. Combat sword, heavy sword, dueling swords. Sword damage, armor modifier buffed, mostly against unarmored. Increased finesse. Okay, so that's more crit for us. Devil Claw, combat swords, massively increased damage and finesse multiplier from parry special attacks. Focus on headshotting. Change, so perfectly parried blocks within 0.3 seconds had a massive block cost reduction. Increased cleave on heavy, high cleave damage. Good, because I do like the Devil Claw combat sword. It was just not great. Heavy sword, heavy damage increased. I mean, you would expect that from a heavy sword. Dueling swords, finesse and first target damage increased. Changed so stab weapon special deals very high impact damage when hitting a weak spot. Okay, I like that. The Tagaris Mark II Heavy Eviscerator. Bump lights heavies more damage versus Carapace. Increased cleave on heavy and activated heavy. Removed cleave damage cap. Oh, thank the fucking gods. Removed cleave damage cap. Good. Massively increased damage of heavy light weapon special swing last hit. Okay, so the Eviscerator has been... It's had its cleave damage cap removed. The Orates Mark IV Assault Chainsaw. Bump light heavies, more damage versus Carapace. Reduced movement penalty with lights. Made heavy swing slightly faster. Yeah, I still don't like it. Headhunter Autoguns. Increased finesse modifier, more crit. Brute Brainer Mark III Latrine Shovel. Removed no damage beyond 3 targets on light and heavy. Increased heavy power and damage versus Manix. Changed so weak spots have sweep hit priority. Good, because that is my go-to. Everyone loves the Latrine Shovel. Standard issue Minotaurum's Sapper Shovel. Increased the heavy power, removed no damage beyond 3 targets on heavy. Okay, so they're basically backpedaling on their cleave cap, which is nice because it was a stupid idea. Combat axes slightly increased the light heavy power, more cleave on push follow-up. Changed the Achilles combat axe to chain into upper left overhead from uppercut special attack. Good. Iron Helm Mark IV Thunderhammer. Increased cleave on heavy and activated heavy. Increased power. Slightly reduced self-stun when hitting enemies with weapon special. Increased weapon special against flak, unarmored and infested. Good. The Curious Mark II Thunderhammer. Increased cleave damage. Removed cleave damage cap. Well, that's good. Hopefully the Thunderhammers will be slightly more usable instead of just being thrust build one-hit wonders. Force Staves. Tweaked wield action quell timing to reduce chain time delays as a consequence of Psychers switching weapons a lot, which we do tend to do. Turned all staff primary action fire projectile chain times to be more responsive and able to be used between secondary actions. So they've made force staves just a bit quicker. Oh God, there's some big old heavy changes in the staves here, folks, so bear with me. The Equinox Mark IV Void Strike Force Staff. Fucking hell, that's a mouthful. Increased power by around 70% on direct hit. Increased cleave. Normalized armor modifier values for direct hit, meaning it deals the same damage regardless of armor type, with the exception of Carapace armor with a slight reduction. They don't actually give us any numbers on this, but hopefully slight does actually mean slight in this scenario. Increased the finesse multiplier, increased explosion and attack impact. Radius of charge secondary projectiles from 0.5 to 0.3. Changed minimum charge level of secondary projectiles from 0.35 to 0.1. Okay, so the Void Strike staff has been buffed quite a bit. Surge staff has changed behavior to I can't speak. To be different from Smite Blitz. There you go. Changed to be one target. Changed to be one target with one jump. Okay, don't quite understand that, but I'll no doubt see that later. Improved target assist for range attacks with range of 25 instead of 100. Increased charge rate by a lot, apparently. Increased first target damage. Surge is more of a fast response single target high damage control weapon now, but is weak versus multiple enemies unless you're good with prioritizing stuns. Okay, that sounds interesting. Tweaked logic for how chain lightning jumps to new targets. Changed visual effects when using surge staff with no targets. Fixed issues when using surge staff secondary on pox bursters that would make them stagger backwards multiple times during a very short duration. I don't like that, but that's just because it makes things slightly more difficult. Trauma Staff, increased close explosion power by around 50%. Lower damage modifier versus flak and carapace. Okay, that's it for the staves. Grenadier Gauntlet, increased direct hit damage, especially versus flak and carapace. Fixed an issue where the gauntlet didn't get fire rate or reload speed increased from buffs. I didn't think it did, and they bloody denied it. Ripper guns just increased the finesse, so we've got more crit on them. The Rumbler, increased explosive damage, increased armor damage modifiers versus unyielding. Good. Ah, shit. Heavy stubbers. Reduced ammo capacity and reserves. So they've been nerfed. The Achilles, increased wheel time from braced. The Achilles has been nerfed. Power swords, again, we've got a nerf here. Reduced first target damage with heavy strikes. So we've got a nerf on the heavy stubbers and the power swords. Lame. Misc weapons and balance changes. Base bleed damage buffed from 40 to 200. Tweaked how quickly weapon actions can be started after sprint jumping. Fixed a hit detection issue on these stub revolvers and the plasma guns. Fixed a hit detection issue that could cause melee swings to not register when being very close to enemies with big hitboxes. Fixed an issue where combat shotguns and ripper guns could fail to trigger on kill effects. Fixed an issue where only psychers were able to make a weapon special attack while reloading a las pistol. Fixed an issue where ripper guns and twin linked heavy stubbers didn't get fire rate increased from buffs. Slightly increased shotgun weapon special buffer time to be more reliably load a shell after shooting. Okay, so that's it for the weapons. Let's have a look at the blessings. Changes and bug fixes. Chained hits. All melee blessings that rely on chained hits have now been tuned to be more easily used. You'll no longer drop the buff when being staggered, suppressed, etc. Only if you drop the combo, stop attacking, or if you miss an attack. Fair enough. Adhesive charge now sticks to Ogryns as well as monstrosities. Okay, that's fair enough. Death Spitter, fixed an issue where Death Spitter would only add 1 stack if shot killed multiple enemies. It now adds 1 stack per enemy killed. Decapitator now gives a finesse bonus between 18 to 24% instead of a rending bonus. Fan the Flames now also grants an impact bonus of 30 to 45 on hip fire. Fire Frenzy, fixed an issue where Blessing Fire Frenzy would only add 1 stack if killed, now adds 1 stack per enemy killed. Powder Burn adds a damage versus suppressed bonus 14 to 20%. Punishing Salvo now applies to 3rd and 4th shot and salvo instead of 2nd and 3rd. Rampage grants power bonus between 24 to 36 instead of just regular damage. Run and Gun now grants some close range damage, so plus 10% and better spread, minus 30% on top of being able to sprint while firing. Should allow you to play a bit more aggressively. Cool, because Run and Gun was a bit shit. Scattershot now grants up to 5 stacks of between 6 and 12% critical strike chance for your next shot, depending on how many enemies you hit with your previous shot. Showstopper now applies to special enemies as well. They explode. Good. Speed Loader changed reload speed bonus after sliding to reload speed after a close melee kill. Good, because this isn't bloody Warframe. Stripped Down now grants range attack immunity while sprinting with over 80 to 50% stamina. Tenderizer now gives power bonuses for a duration of 3.5 seconds instead of for the next 3 attacks. Reworked Brutal Momentum, reworked from ignoring hit mass for a duration to only ignoring hit mass for weak spot kills. Tears now grant weak spot damage bonus instead of buff duration. Not sure if that's a buff or a shadow nerf. We'll have to see. Limb Splitter removes negative power bonuses, and first attack requirement now gives power bonus once, resetting after a cooldown instead. So it looks like the axes have gotten a bit of a nerf, I think. Gameplay. Fixed issues where projectiles and grenades could sometimes fall through the ground. Good. Fixed issues where Stinger would not play when a projectile killed an killed an enemy elite or a special enemy. Yay, I guess. Fixed an issue where explosive barrels would apply buffs from the player that attacked the barrel. This could cause issues like being instantly killed by barrels by having enough damage and rending buffs. Okay, cool. Blessing balance changes. Raking fire damage bonus from 15 to 30 to 32.5 to 40. Dum Dum damage bonus from 1 to 2 to 5 to 6. Hit and run from 0.4 to 0.7 to 0.7 to 1. Sustained fire bonus from 6 to 15 to 14 to 20. Punishing salvo damage bonus from 6 to 15 to 14 to 20. So everything's getting a substantial buff basically. Fire frenzy bonus from 4 to 8 to 8 to 9. Death spitter duration from 1.7 to 3.5. Ceaseless barrage suppression bonus from 2 to 20. That's a big bloody buff. Ghost duration from 0.4 to 1 to 0.6 to 1.2. Not a huge buff, but still nice. Surgical crit chance bonus from 2 to 5 to 10. Stack intervals from 0.25 to 0.35 to 2. Roulette crit chance bonuses from 3.5 to 5 to 0.5 to 0.6. Deadly accurate critical weak spot damage from... Oh shit, this is a big one. Critical weak spot damage bonus from 27.5 to 50 to 70 to 100%. Falter, stagger bonus from 30 to 60% to 60 to 90. Opening salvo bonus from 7.5 to 15 to 14 to 20. Between the eyes, duration from 0.6 to 0.9 has been changed to 2.4 to 3.6. Powder burn, damage versus suppressed bonus from 14 to 20. Suppressed bonus from 5 to 20 to 28 to 40. Recoil reduction bonus from 5 to 20 is now 28 to 40. Calicave has been changed from crit chance bonus from 2.2 to 4 to 3.5 to 4.5. Pinning fire power bonus from 5 to 20 to 4.25 to 5. So they're nerfing the auto pistol build for the veteran there. Glory Hunter toughness replenishment from 4 to 10 to 10 to 16. I really wish they wouldn't, instead of making like with a pinning fire debuff, instead of making some fun builds now shit, they just made other builds better and gave us... I mean, I don't understand. This isn't a PvP game. They don't really need to nerf stuff like this. They could just make other stuff better. But, okay. Bloodletter. Bleed stacks from 8 to 14 to 10 to 16. Head Taker 2 to 4 to 3.5 to 4.5. Slaughterer power bonus from 7.5 to 15. Now has gone down to 5 to 8. Duration from 3.5 to 4.5. So they've nerfed Slaughterer as well. Rev it up movement speed bonus from 7.5 to 15 to 17 to 20. And they've nerfed duration from 3 to 2 seconds. Wrath cleave bonus was 5 to 20, is now 25 to 40. Shred critical chance bonus from 2.5 to 5, now 2.5 to 4. Savage sweeps cleave bonus from 100 to 175 has been changed to 140 to 180. Rampage power bonus from 12.5 to 20, now 24 to 36. Momentum toughness replenishments from 7.5 to 12.5 has now been changed to 12 to 14. Decimator power bonus was changed from 4 to 10%, is now 2 to 5%, and the stacks have been increased from 5 to 10. Limb Splitter bonus has been changed from 10 to 25 to 60, and cooldown from 5 to 3.5. All or nothing power bonus from 7.5 to 20 to 25 to 40%. Decapitator finesse bonus has been changed from 18 to 24%. Trauma impact bonus from 7.5 to 15 to 14 to 20. Hammer blow, I'm getting ready for the thrust debuff coming up. I haven't seen it yet, but I think it's there. Impact bonus from 10 to 20 to 19 to 23. Uncanny Strikes, rending bonus from 5 to 20 to 12 to 24, duration from 2.5 to 3.5. So Uncanny Strikes is still very good. Flesh Terror, blue stacks from 1 to 4 to 5 to 8. Executor, power bonus from 2.5 to 4.5 to 6. Riposte, critical chance bonus from 5 to 12 to 12.5 to 20. And the duration has been upped to 6 seconds. Smackdown, the critical bonus has been changed from 4 to 10 to 12.5 to 20. Mercy Killer, damage bonus from 20 to 50 to 52.5 to 60. Ruthless Backstab, rending bonus from 20 to 50%, now changed to 35 to 50%. Uncanny Strikes, rending bonus from 5 to 20 has been changed to 12 to 24, and the duration has been increased to 3.5. Vicious Slice, damage bonus from 4 to 10 has been changed to 14 to 20. Showstopper, proc chance from 5 to 20% has been changed to 14 to 20%. Quick Flame, reload speed bonus from 18 to 24 has been changed to 24 to 36. Blaze Away, power bonus has changed from 8 to 10. Warp Flurry charge time has been nerfed. So it's been from -4 to -10%, is now minus 5.5 to 8.5. Stacks have gone from 5 to 3, so that Warp Flurry has been heavily nerfed. Warp Nexus, critical chance maximum bonus has been changed from 2 to 5 to 3.5 to 5. Critical chance maximum bonus from 8 to 20 to 14 to 20. Transfer Perils, peril quelled from 2 to 5%, from 7 to 10%. Deflector, block cost reduction from 3 to 12 to 22.5 to 30. Superiority bonus has changed from 5 to 10. Duration has been changed to 7. And stacks have been reduced from 5 to 3. Unstable Power, power bonus from 2 to 5% has now been changed to 14 to 20. Furnace, burn stacks have been changed from 2 to 3 to 4. Maximum stacks are now 10 to 12. Recon Last Gun burn stacks have been changed to 2. Maximum stacks have been changed to 8 to 10. And the last pistol maximum stacks has been changed to 8 to 10 as well. No Respite, damage bonus from 12.5 to 20 to 14 to 20. Onslaught charge time -4 to -10 has been changed to -6 to -12. Reassuringly Accurate, toughness replenishment has been changed from 4 to 10% to 10 to 16. Tenderizer power bonus has now been changed from 7.5 to 15 to 19 to 25%. Overwhelming Fire has been changed from 1 to 2.5 to 7 to 10. Gets Hot has basically been doubled to 27.5 to 50. Volatile, charging speed bonus from 1 to 3 to 2.5 to 3.5. Can Opener stacks from 2 to 8, now 5 to 8. Born in Blood, toughness replenishment from 1.5 to 3% to 4.5 to 6. Scattershot toughness has been changed from 2 to 5% to 6 to 12. Full Bore has basically been doubled as well to between 14 and 20%. Point Blank, critical chance bonus from 5 to 20% to 14 to 20. Hand Cannon, rending bonus from 20 to 50, now 50 to 80. Expansive power bonus from 25 to 40 to 30 to 42. Shock and Awe, hit mass modifier, -25 to -40% has been changed to 30 to 60%. -30 to -60%. Sorry, they haven't changed that. And let's have a look at the updates and tweaks. Enemies now have lower hit mass value calculated to determine if a sweep stops or not if staggered. The reduction increased is with stagger strength. Combat with blitz abilities can now be used while sliding. Oh, that's cool. Lowered the time where inputs were locked after sprinting or jumping. This should make it possible to more quickly aim or shoot a secondary weapon after jumping off a ledge. Tagging will now prefer enemies over pickups if there's both a valid enemy and a pickup near the crosshair. Okay, so there's been a big change to rending. Rending has changed a bit. Before, rend was complicated and worked differently for different weapons. It scaled how much damage was blocked by different armor types, but with maths making an Ogryn's head hurt, now it's simpler. It works on anything that's not just naked or rotting. It works on the mutants, it works on the monsters, it works on any armor. Any rend you have is just added until you do full damage. After that, it still helps you do more damage, just not as much. Oh, great. If you have a shovel that does 20% damage on a big carapace guy with 4% rend, you will now do 24% damage, because 20 plus 4 is 24. I see you're trying to be cute and funny here, Darktide, but you have basically pissed all over rend. I see what you've done. On stuff that already does full damage, it will add 1% damage instead. It always adds 1% more for every 4% rend you have. Still maths that makes an Ogryn's head hurt, just not as much, and it helps kill things on all weapons. I see what you've done there, Darktide. Naughty. Clamp to 16 stacks of 2.5 each, max capping to hold 40% on each instance. That doesn't read properly at all. Sum of normal cap of 80%. Whoever typed that must have been having a stroke, because I feel like I've just had one trying to read it. Added armor settings for armor types. Rend mods, setting flak to 100 and carapace to 50, limiting the carapace removal down a bit. Finesse damage is now applied after rending. Backstab flanking damage is now a multiplicative. Pass on toughness and damage reduction. Ensure we're using buff modifier toughness damage amount for melee calculation was using base damage before, so toughness damage reduction buffs has no effect on a melee hit. Okay. Removed mandatory bleed through from Maulers, Crushers default attacks. Move that to their cleave overhead attack to work in combination with damage spillover to make smoother and guaranteed damage output. So they've just changed how their damage works. Fair. Fixed an issue where no one left behind penance was unlocked upon rescuing a third player instead of at the mission completion. And that's about it. I mean, there's a load of mission and pickup fixes, but I mean, after all of the weapon stuff, I'm not going to read through those. If you'd like to see those, just look at the patch notes in the description. I will post them there for your perusal. But yeah, I mean, mostly we've gotten some really nice buffs and some things. Rend has been changed, and I'm not sure for the better. Axes seem to be a little bit nerfed. The power sword has been nerfed, and so has the auto pistol. So we shall see how that works out. Other than that, it seems like a good mix of changes. And with the new talent trees, hopefully there'll be some, buffs in there that pick up some of the downgrades we've had through just pure damage. So hopefully everyone is looking forward to this patch. I know I am. It will be out in 3 or 4 hours, depending on your time zone and that time of recording. So hopefully I shall see you all when the patch drops. So until then, take it easy. Thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed, please like, subscribe, hit that little bell for notifications. And until the next video, I shall see you later.